while there are voices coming in with regard to Biden, Donald Trump clearly is seen leading the race as well, especially after the return from the assassination attempt. According to the New York Times, Trump's approval ratings in America stands at 47% compared to 44% of Joe Biden. And could that margin increase? Geeta, I take that to you. 47 and 44% may not seem a very high margin, but the manner in which you can see Trump is beginning to get more focused, and so Biden has that criticism coming in. Do you think it's the swing states where all of this could make a difference?
Well, absolutely. It's always the swing states where all the difference is made. But yes, he is ahead in polls, and that should be disturbing, because then that will impact whether, if the swing states are going to impact his results, and how much would that really be. The difference increasing between Donald Trump and Joe Biden is concerning for the Democrats, and that's why we are hearing a lot of the funders pulling out. We are hearing a lot of the Democratic leaders now coming out and saying that he should pull out, withdraw. Although they don't really say withdraw, they are basically telling him that he could run the party to the ground should he continue the way he is continuing. And there is a problem. Those gaffes were not just confined to that one presidential debate. Every interview he's given, every press conference he's held, every rally he's gone to, barring the first rally after the presidential debate, every one of them have had gaffes. There is a serious problem, and there is a serious introspection that the Democrats will have to do. So if there are reports, Pooja, which say that there could be a change in that Biden could decide by as early as this weekend, then that should be good for the Democratic Party, because they will then move towards what next. But should he not decide and wait till the last minute, it is going to only delay matters and make things worse for the Democratic Party. It's so interesting, we've covered so many presidential elections, and we've never had to discuss, and the entire debate and discourse and narrative being on the age and the mental health of a president. That has never happened before in a US election scenario. So very interesting that right now, instead of talking about what versus what in terms of issues and agenda, everybody's focused on whether if Trump is going to surge ahead with this immigration, visa, the border issues with Mexico, so on and so forth, all of that as the agenda, versus Democrats, where they talk about immigration and view it in a very different light.
And plus, Geeta, I'll be very curious to also see what Donald Trump has to say about the global conflicts, like whether it's Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia. That's also going to
NATO. NATO, very
of course.
Important, Pooja. US's position on NATO could change drastically. US's position on the Russia-Ukraine war would change drastically.
And it's also a lot about communication, isn't it, Geeta, about what you say, how you say it, and connect with the leader, because policies come later. It's to convince that voter on the ground. Geeta, I request you to please stay on with me, because at least from our generation's childhood, there was one face that was extremely popular in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, and now WWE. It was professional wrestler Hulk Hogan. He's decided to come forth and express support to Donald Trump. Let's listen in to what Hulk Hogan has to say.
Let me tell you something, brother. You know something? When I came here tonight, there was so much energy in this room. I felt maybe I was in Madison Square Garden getting ready to win another world title. Or maybe I thought the vibe was so intense, the energy was so crazy, it felt like maybe I was going to press that no-good, stinky giant over my head and slam him through the mat, brother. But what I found out was I was in a room full of real Americans, brother. And at the end of the day, with our leader up there, my hero, that gladiator, we're going to bring America back together. One real American at a time, brother.
My hero, a gladiator. This is what one of the supporters, Hulk Hogan, as a professional wrestler. And remember, these men also have a lot of support base, even now, as much with the younger generation as possibly the elderly. And all of this, could it make a difference for Donald Trump?